Well, as most of y'all know, that we've retaliated against Iran now. We've launched a couple attacks over there, and it's kind of strange to me how we do it right when we give them warning that we're going to do it, right? So their troops ain't there, or nobody gets injured or anything like that, you know. All this stuff nowadays is just for show. That's all it is. As you can see, I'm sitting here grilling deer meat. It's our cookout we try to have at the end of the season every year. Season's over February 10th. And what I'm cooking here is backstrap steaks, some steaks out of the roast, things like that. All I do to it, you might be able to tell it, I don't know. I season it for about a week and then I grill it. Yeah, I leave it in the refrigerator and marinate for about a week. And then we grill it. And if you can tell here, I just hit it with a meat hammer. It's already tender. But putting a, I like hitting it because it drives the seasoning down in it some when you're cooking it. But to get back on point here with the retaliation strikes, I don't think much is going to come of it. The strangest thing to me is how they are warning them before we do it, right? They're warning them before we go over there and do it. So what does that mean? First of all, it means that, hey, they're going to go out here and they're going to warn them. Pretty much like, sorry for the camera jumping, pretty much like if you've ever been in a fist fight in your lifetime, which some of you may have, you don't warn the person before you start fighting, right? You just start fighting because that gives them time to get ready for whatever you're going to do to them. Times are crazy right now. I mean, things like this cookout right here, try to do things like that. Try to keep as much normalcy as you can in your life right now because things are just out of hand everywhere. Everywhere things are out of hand. And it's not going to get better. I mean, the election's not going to fix it. It's not. Everybody thinks if Trump wins, as soon as he gets in there, it's fixed, right? That we're going to go back to the way it was. And we're beyond that point now. We are well beyond that point. We're at the point now where, like I said the other day, it's just a big old crap pile and we all got to take a bite, right? But as soon as I walked in, I stopped on the way. If you watch my short, there was some cedar logs laying on the side of the road in a ditch. And it just so happened I had my cheap Bay Pro chainsaw, which is a Husqvarna knockoff. I got it 2 years ago for $99 on eBay. And when it arrived, it had a part broke on it, and I emailed them and I told them, they said, well, how about we just give you a $40 refund and you don't worry about sending the saw back? And I was like, that's fine with me. So about $60, $65 for that chainsaw, and it works fine. A lot of people don't like buying the cheap knockoffs, right? Well, sometimes you don't have the $300 or $400 to buy a chainsaw, to buy a Husqvarna or something. That knockoff works just as good as me, right? Go back to the Made in America stuff. We made videos on that. If that chainsaw was made in America, being a knockoff as it is, it would still be $200 or $300 because of labor rates. So, I would recommend, this is not a sales pitch, I'm not sponsored by them, but if you're needing a chainsaw, look, I don't even know if Bay Pros are even made anymore, they may not be. But it seems to work fine for what I need it for. And anytime you see free cedar, eastern red cedar laying on the side of the road in the ditch, stop and get it if you're a woodworker. Or stop and get it and try to give it to a woodworker, get them to make you something out of it, right? And give them what's left over. But we're having this cookout. You can see the sun setting behind me. So things are, pretty normal right here is what's going on. But as soon as I walked in, my son was like, they retaliated, they did it. And I was like, well, ain't much going to come of it. And it's probably not. They're trying to look tough, right? They're trying to look tough. Usually the loudest person in a fight doesn't do very much. And we know that, right? So it's just the way things are now. Everybody needs to pay attention to what's going on around them at all times. But don't sit around and panic about nothing. Just be ready for whatever comes, right? That's all you can do nowadays, is to be ready. Do I think this is going to cause a larger war over there in Iran? Not right offhand. I don't think it's going to break out into something huge overnight. Like I told you, it's almost like they're working deals out with them before they strike them. Sorry about the grandkids, but that's part of life. When you got grandkids or little kids, they outside playing. We got a warm day today. But they're out, we may wind up in a larger war, but I just don't think it's in the cards yet for it to happen. But at least they're retaliating, right? That's what a lot of people wanted, was wanting them to retaliate. So let's see what happens to it. Everybody stay safe out there. enjoy you a cookout or something if you're able. If you see free wood on the side of the road, stop and get it. Now, these are logs, free cedar logs, but keep your head on a swivel, be aware of your surroundings at all times, protect yourself and your family at all times. At that moment, you're the only person who can do it. I got grandkids around me everywhere. Sun setting, grandkids playing on the stump, just living the country life, right? Get out and enjoy it as much as you can, because when SHTF does happen, this normalcy is going to be gone. You're not going to be able to do things like this. So stay safe, keep prepping.